So I guess we'll do the jump to Maria now to see how she feels about all of this. There shouldn't be much left for her. I mean, she's just standing there listening to the story, so I hope we don't get the same exposition again. Is that really Maria? It is! Let's jump to her. Oh my god, the jump is really early though. So there has to be still something, he tells her, I guess, in between that. I hear a faint voice and realize that the man is listening to a wireless radio. I've managed to secure Hitomi Ozawa at Shibuya Central Hospital, the voice says. A gleam comes to the gunman's eyes. Oh, it's Kano. Or who's saying this? He pulls his cell phone from his jacket and hurriedly makes a call. Ah, he heard Stanley say it. Now I get it. I've secured Maria Ozawa, he says to whoever's on the other end. Huh? Maria Ozawa? Is my name Maria Ozawa? Of course she doesn't know. You need to bring Hitomi Ozawa to my location at once. Hitomi Ozawa? If I'm Maria Ozawa, what sort of relationship do I have to Hitomi? If you don't bring her, I'll kill Maria. Then my captor hangs up. Oh crap, he's gonna kill me. Were you serious just now? My voice wavers uncontrollably. What do you mean you'll kill me? Don't look at me like that. He steps in closer to me, his expression dangerous. That killer's edge that he'd lost during our little talk is back in full force. Just bear with me a little longer. He blindfolds my eyes with some sort of towel. I can't see through it at all. Okay. Just then I hear Kanan's voice inside my head. What? My memories are like shards of broken glass, tumbling through my mind, all out of sequence. Is this what's triggering her to remember? Really? How are you able to do that when the string is so tangled up? Oh, once you know the trick to it, you can do it with your eyes closed. I'm showing Kanan how to do a cat's cradle. She reaches out for the string. Huh? She doesn't get hold of it quite right. What gives? Despite her efforts, the string gets all jumbled up. No, not like that, I say. Hook your index fingers through the front part of the string. No, I get that. Kanan's getting irritated. Oh, I can get behind that. But after giving it a few more tries, she finally manages to pull it off. There we go, she says. Look at that. Seeing her innocent little smile bolsters my own spirits. That's neat. Thanks for teaching me. Oh, it's nothing special. Here, as a thanks, let me teach you some skills to help protect yourself. This is some video game bullshit. Here, I teach you the skill Fireball. Abruptly, my memory jumps forward a bit. Because you don't teach someone self-defense in a matter of minutes. Kanan has been training me in some form of self-defense. Techniques for protecting oneself when attacked. Okay, whatever. Wait a second. Yeah, whatever. Don't overthink it, she says. People will either try to punch you, kick you, or grab you. If you can stay ready for those three things, you'll be able to take it from there. She demonstrates some defensive movements as I watch. I follow suit, doing my best to mimic her. Okay, let's do this. Oh, Kanan throws a punch at me. I dodge, grab her by the wrist, and give her arm a hard twist. Incredibly, she goes whirling through the air. She lands nimbly on her feet, a little grin coming to her face. She's 100% anime, isn't she? Nicely done, she says. I stare down at my own hand. Did I really just do that? Once you repeat the movement enough, your body will treat them like a second nature. I do as she says, trying to repeat the movements over and over. At first it feels like a silly gimmick, but eventually I can feel the motions growing smoother. There you go, people like those fucks we met before won't get a drop on you again. Nice. We leveled up, basically. Fucks? Now my memories zip further back into the past. So they had to fill a time block with something. I guess it's time to remember. I was wandering the streets trying to get back to my hotel, but I'd gotten lost. By the time I realized I'd wandered into some dodgy back streets, I was already surrounded by people giving me threatening looks. They must have been thugs looking for tourists to rob. If they had caught me, I'm not sure I would have made it out alive. Oh my god. But they hadn't. Kanan had seen to that. Thank you so much for what you did for me. I didn't want there to be a scene here, Kanan says bluntly as she surveys the aftermath of the Fox attack. Did she kill them? That's all. I'd happened to be right underneath her apartment window when I was nearly abducted. Damn it. That's some coincidence. Bit by bit, my memories of Kanan are starting to resurface. Just a little more. Just a little more and I'll have myself back. I'm sure of it. Detective Tateno, where are you? Oh, damn it, Kano. A man's voice suddenly snaps me back into the moment. It's Kano. I've come as you asked. The gunman grabs me by the arm and yanks me to my feet. Please let's not listen to the story again. Where's Hitomi Ozawa? He snarls. Why didn't you bring her? Detective Tateno, why are you doing this? Is that really Maria? My captor removes my blindfold. God, it's so fucking bright. Hello. The first thing I see is a huge blimp drifting slowly by overhead. This has to mean something. Huh. I'm sure I've seen it before. Oh my god, does it actually mean something? And pretty recently at that. What? There's a flash of revelation inside my head. Like a dam bursting, my memories come flooding back to me. What? Oh, did she see it when she got abducted? The blue van, she dropped the necklace. She did own the necklace before. Okay, I called it kinda. Last night, I finger bonded Burger bonded your sister, or how does the meme go? Whatever. I was at a party, a sort of mix-up with the exchange students. Someone was plotting to use this party as an opportunity to abduct my sister, Hitomi. And so I told Hitomi that the party started 1 hour later than it really did. Damn, that's cunning. I had a plan, to let myself get abducted in Hitomi's place. Of course, the idea wasn't just to let myself get kidnapped. The necklace I wore was outfitted with a tiny GPS. I knew it! Amazing that I actually did call that. Wherever I happened to be taken, Kanan would be able to track my location. Why did she turn up at the knick-knack shop before then? What we hadn't counted on though was my necklace getting torn off when I was attacked. Better hide the GPS somewhere else next time. I'd managed to grab hold of it, but I hit my head when I was being shoved into the car and it slipped from my grasp. I'm not sure how far we drove after that. In my fuzzy memories, I recall gazing blearily out the car window. It's the Ayakamiki blimp. Not blip. That's when I saw the blimp, right after we parked. It's really bright. Yes, it went fine. There was a man talking to someone on a cell phone. Alright, I'll shut up inside the storeroom. I'll be waiting in the room upstairs. Who is this? Can we tell by the fingers? The man dragged me out of the car and shoved me into some dark storeroom. Ouch. Then I guess for good measure, he hit me on the head again. Ow! Don't do that. That's right. There's more of it coming back to me now. Nice. More Kanan. You've spent your life living in a country at peace, in Japan. You couldn't possibly understand me. I assume it's a pretty different lifestyle. Kanan again, so it's not like she and I became fast friends right away or anything. The two of us were too different in a lot of ways. Where do you draw the line? What would you do? What would you protect with your life? What does justice mean to you? A forlorn look came to her face whenever Kanan asked me a new question, and I never had a good answer for any of them. My flimsy grasp on my own personal identity made it hard for us to get along, yet I kept visiting Kanan's place for the duration of my trip. I recall doing the cat's cradle there at the table one time when we didn't have anything in particular to talk about. Her eyes had gone wide when she saw me deftly manipulating the string with my fingers. Who taught you how to do that? She asked. My mother. My real mother, that is. Kanan furrowed her brow. What do you mean, real? As opposed to my stepmother, I mean. My birth mother died after getting really sick. I was only 5 years old, so I don't remember her that well. I see, Kanan said. Her expression remained unchanged. What about your parents, Kanan? I don't have any. They died during the war. Damn it. The bluntness of her response made my hand stop, the strings still stretched between them. Sensing that we were treading on some serious ground, I hurried to change the subject. Good going. Do you have any friends? Oh my god. Come on, she's a killer! No. Well, I used to have one. Her use of the past tense made me fear the worst, and I was right. He was killed too, by an arms dealer named Alphard. There we go. Her tone was dry, matter of fact. Taking revenge for his death is my sole purpose in life. Despite the gravity of her words, her face was an unreadable mask. She seemed almost incapable of human emotion. So, what sort of person is this Alphard? A destructionist who masquerades as a terrorist. Destructionist? That sure wasn't a term that came up a lot back in Japan. Alpha doesn't believe in God and holds no political ideology. The chaos and destruction is just to earn money in order to carry out more terrorist acts. So you're saying this Alphard commits terrorism because it's fun? Kanan nodded. Nice. It's why every now and then Alphard changes loyalties. Just when you think you've found ties to some Middle Eastern terrorist organization, it turns out the job was for the American CIA. What the heck? So Alphard stands for nothing then? Kanan smiled dismissively at my little childish outburst. I couldn't help but feel a little patronized. Oh wow. I twiddled my fingers, turning my cat's cradle into a bridge. I never got the hang of cat's cradle. Kanan's eyes fixed right back on the string. A tiny surge of pride replaced my annoyance. She went quiet, watching closely as I worked my fingers. The tension in the room faded as the silence between us lengthened. My stepmother's the sort of person who couldn't do this sort of thing, I said at last. For some reason I had a sudden urge to talk about my personal life. I guess she cares about herself more than looking after her children. She's not a bad person though. She gives me weird bits of advice, like telling me to find someone to date, or that a woman's life is defined by a man. That's really weird bits of advice. But it's not like I hate her or anything. Would you mind teaching me? Kanan asked softly. What? How to find a guy to date? No, she shook her head. Then she pointed to the cat's cradle strung between my fingers. Oh, you mean this? Aww. Why do we never see her fucking face? So I took her by the hand and started to teach her the cat's cradle. Hey, do you mind if I ask you something? I said after a while. What's that? That friend you mentioned earlier. What was he like? Kanan's fingers went still. It's better if you don't ask. If I tell you, you won't want to come here anymore. That's not true, I insisted. Even though I'm a terrorist, she replied curtly. One who uses fear and violence to attain political objectives. The term has its origins in the Reign of Terror in 18th century France, known in French as La Terreur. I swallowed a sudden lump in my throat, unable to find words. We fight for righteousness, but you people call us terrorists. In a religious sense, the state of being virtuous, free of sin, and observant of the proper rules of moral conduct. Not the same as being in the right, though many people equate the two. Am I wrong? She casts a quick look at my face. But, I mean, you protected me. Yeah, that makes her right, I guess. My voice wavered as I replied. All I did was take down some thugs. I just didn't want them around. What could I say to that? I just stammered. Nah, I'm just messing with you. Huh? Kanan flashed me another slight, condescending grin. I was just joking, don't worry about it. But I didn't get the sense that everything she'd said was a joke. Even if calling herself a terrorist was an exaggeration, the world Kanan lived in was unquestionably a dangerous one. I could tell that from the cold look in her eyes, a look you'd never expect from an ordinary teenage girl. Just what sort of hardships had she endured to acquire that deadly stare? Having lived all my life in peaceful Japan, I could scarcely imagine. Kanan tried and failed several times to get the cat's cradle right, but she didn't give up. She worked fastidiously by herself, fingers continuing to shift awkwardly about. Are we still talking about the cat's cradle here? Or is this some Yuri bullshit happening? Okay, here we go. She hooked the string around her fingers and spread her palms. Maybe this is all just a big euphemism for both of them making out or something. But the string shape just collapsed into a jumbled mess. Confound it. Okay, one more time. You can make this into a game with 2 people, you know. I plucked the string from Kanan's hands. Oh, look at her. You pass the string back and forth. Why don't we try that? It's more fun than doing it by yourself. I wrap the string around my fingertips. This definitely is a euphemism, isn't it? What do you say? Want to give it a go? Want a kiss? Want to hold hands? Kanan looked dubious. I never did it before. The intricately intertwined strings were like the world in a way. What had started as a single thread was now something that could be undone just by pulling on it. I held my hands out, twirling the string around my fingers. Kanan took the pattern from me and spread her palms apart. Well, if that's the only thing that's spreading apart today. She made a perfect bridge between her hands. The shy grin that came to her face made her finally look like a normal girl. I followed suit with a childish little laugh of my own. Why do we never see her face? Is it because Maria isn't remembering her face? Is this why? And, as if in a blaze of sunshine, the fog that's been hanging over my mind finishes receding. I remember everything. My name is Maria Osawa. My sister is Hitomi Osawa. My father is weird... What's his name? Kenji Osawa? And Kanan? She's a dear friend who I met in a far-off land. She helped me once, and now it's my turn to help her. I close my eyes as I reflect upon these precious memories, all the dearer for having been lost. Now when I try to picture Kanan, I can do so clearly. It's just as I had thought before. My memories are what make me who I am, and I would never choose to forget them. I feel almost as if time had stopped for me while my history was gone, and now it started moving again. I'm finally back to being me. Oh, she's gonna CQC? Close? No. Close combat? Close quarter combat? Yeah, CQC. She's gonna CQC Tateno. Fuck. Shouldn't have taken that long to oh, for fuck's sake, I'm missing stuff. No! And? What? I've been thinking about the basics of CQC. Come on! End of a story. And the beginning of Maria Osawa's story? Okay, let me just... I need to read those last few sentences. As if in a blaze of sunshine, the fog that's been hanging over my mind finishes receding. I remember everything. You know what? Let's do this like this. Finally back to being me. I have to go. I have to go back there one more time. Back where? Back where? My sister is Hitomi Osawa, yes? Let's watch this again, just for good measure. She helped me once, and now it's my turn to help her. Help her find Alfred? Oh, what are you trying to help her with? My memories are what make me who I am. End of her story. So the game just closes one of the strings of protagonists? Or is this gonna... Are the remaining hours gonna go by quicker? I mean, just look at her. I don't want to lose her. Can I just stop with Kano or Osawa or something? I have to go. Why? I have to go back there one more time. Back where? Maria, work with me here. End. Not even a good end, just a single end. Of her story. And what? I guess that's the end for Maria. Overall, maybe? Maybe she's gonna return? Who knows? So I have quite a few TBCs, and Minorikawa and Osawa still need to resolve the time frame, but still, that's the end for Maria, I guess. Bye!